Hello little ghosties, it's Vurbania and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be kidnapping and killing Sims until I collect every ghost type. I know, it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows in this video. Now with every expansion pack installed there are 21 different ghosts. So without further ado, let's get to kidnapping. I started in the town, Midnight Hollow. There isn't a real reason why I chose this world. I just had never played in it, and I know it's kind of a spooky world, so I wanted to see what it was like. Let me tell you, it did not disappoint. It's a super cool world, and the Sims in it are so unique. The fits alone that these Sims wear are on point. It's seriously an honor to have kidnapped 21 Sims from this town. I wanted to live on an empty lot so I could build a special kind of house for my victims. I mean my new roommates. So I was picking out an empty lot. At first I was gonna pick the lot that's close to town, but then I realized that was not a good idea. I didn't want to draw attention to myself, you know what I'm saying? So instead I chose the lot on the outskirts of town that's far away from everything. Here's my Sim, Alora Knight, looking not suspicious at all. I wanted to get this challenge started right away, so as soon as I could, I was out looking for a place to find some Sims. I decided to go over to the pool in our snazzy ride. I just really love the paint job on this car. It's giving Barbie. And I wanted to show you guys because I knew you'd appreciate it for the masterpiece that it is. When we got to the pool, there was nobody there, of course, so we had to wait. Then this cute little family rolled in, so I started introducing myself to them. But then I realized this girl was a teen, and I didn't want to kill any kids. So classic serial killer stuff, right? Jeez, sound awful in this video. Anyways, so I moved on to the next Sim I could find, but instead of focusing on getting to know one Sim at a time like I was doing, I thought it would be smart to cover more ground and introduce Alora to every Sim at the pool and get to know them each individually later on. After the pool, Alora went over to the grocery store to buy produce to start a garden because as a little side challenge, I wanted to make ambrosia. Not really for any reason pertaining to this particular challenge, but I think I want to do some other collecting challenges kind of like this and use Alora for those. But I can't have her dying on me because these could take a while to do, so ambrosia is very handy for helping her not to age. We ended the first day off with some autumn salad and went to bed. It was an eventful day. Oh, you thought it was over? Yeah, no, that's right. A burglar came to our house on the first night of us living here, and the police didn't even catch her. She ran away, and the police watched. So since the police lady didn't do her job, I swore that I was gonna kidnap her. So that's exactly what I did. In the morning, I invited the police lady over. Her name is Tia, and she was really easy to get to move in. We got her very fast, super gullible, and as soon as she was moved in, I locked her in the backyard so she couldn't escape. Now is a great time to show you guys the guest house. It's so nice and has all the essentials, even a hot tub. That was my commercial voice. I'll be done with that now. We have a game room upstairs and they can even work out and watch movies on this big ass TV. Now you're probably wondering, where do they sleep? Well, they sleep down here in this ugly bunker. I had to make them feel like prisoners somehow. As time went on, we collected more and more Sims and even had a little romance with one of them in the hot tub. Get out of here, Bonehilda. I let Tia get in on the kidnapping since we had her for so long at this point, and she scored this alien. Here's a little Ambrosia update. We were doing really good. Alora had been working hard on her fishing skill, and she caught her first deathfish. She was also currently growing life fruit, which do take a while to grow, so in the meantime, she just kept working on her cooking skill. Now I finally realized that I had 17 Sims living in my bunker and only 12 beds. So I had to do a little upgrade. So much has changed, I know, looks so fabulous. Side note, we also had 2 cats, but they got to live in the main house. The last Sim I moved into my household was this lady, Katarina Stewart, but for some reason she didn't actually move in. Even though I had 1 extra portrait slot, it's okay though, because I moved her in later on. Look at my bunker with all the kidnapped Sims inside. It's like I'm running a cult. Now it's time for the ghosts! I didn't really have space on my lot to, off the Sims. So I went and purchased a lot right next door where I could make Sims their own specific room that lined up with the means to obtain their ghost. I guess that's putting it lightly. The Sims met their doom in a different order than what I'm showing, but I will be organizing it in the video alphabetically by expansion pack. So don't get confused if you see the Sims portraits looking all crazy. Cecilia Evans died by drowning. John Doe died by electrocution. He's the only Sim that got wallpaper and flooring because he was in such a bad mood from his nasty environment and he refused to repair the TV. The no wallpaper and flooring in the other rooms just adds to the Sim torture. Nathan Watts died by burning. He just wanted some mac and cheese, but ended up a pile of ashes. Viola Yates died of old age. Probably the best way to go out of all of these, just saying. Stacy Lee died of starvation in a room full of decorations of food, which was pure evil on my part. I'm truly sorry, Stacy, for that one. Eliza Ainsley died by the mummy's curse. I'm gonna be 100% honest here. I cheated the curse. If any of you know about the mummy's curse, you know that after your Sim loses the fight, they will essentially get cursed and their eyes will start glowing. It's a whole show. But my Sim didn't get cursed even though she lost the fight. the mummy just decided not to curse her, and I kept setting the other mummies I found on fire and killing them by accident with the traps in the pyramids. So I got really frustrated and I cheated the moodlet. But don't worry, I still had to suffer for 12 long sim days until she finally died from the curse. Cornell Evans died from a meteor strike. Can you imagine just chillin', watching the sky, and getting squashed by a meteor? It's wild. Tia Park died of thirst, aka a vampire's form of starvation. The Showtime deaths really got on my nerves because they took absolutely forever to get. Jules Wheeler died by turning into a human statue. And for the watery grave death, I didn't even record Kara Carter's death. I thought I hit record and I didn't. Then when I went to stop recording, I was so mad because it took so long to get that I wasn't even gonna try and re-record it. But if I messed up any death, I'm glad it was this one because it was literally the same exact action as the human statue, but with water instead of cement or whatever the substance is for that. The jelly bean death took a while as well, which I thought was weird because when I've used it in the past, it didn't seem to take as long as it took me this time. It took a couple sim days. Cedric Winchester started out eating the jelly beans, but when he was not dying, I brought in Todd Landgrab, and then he wasn't dying either, so I brought in Eliza, who we know died from the mummy's curse, but I had recorded this section of the video before that one. Eventually, Todd was the one that ate the deadly jelly bean. Cedric died from a transmutation. Basically, he accidentally turned himself into a golden statue after trying to turn a newspaper that we stole from the neighbor's trash can into gold. I guess one man's trash can make another man into treasure. Was that lame? It probably was. Roderick Synapse died from the haunting curse backfiring and killing him instead. He tried to cast a curse on Katarina Stewart, who was the sim we tried to move into our household earlier. That didn't work. But instead of the curse working normally, it killed Roderick instead. And immediately after that, we successfully moved Katerina in. She didn't seem to mind that a man from our household just died trying to curse her. Jane Doe died of freezing to death outside. Fausto Alvarado Vasquez tried to get one too many freebies from the vending machine, and it came down on top of him, causing him to die of blunt force trauma. I also had the Murphy bed in this room to try and get him to die that way, but it took way too long to fold the bed back up and pull it down again, so I just stuck to the vending machines. Maria Rose Vasquez died from ranting about death. The Grim Reaper gave her a warning the first time and told her not to rant about him again, but she did not listen. I had to move to Island Paradise towards the end of this challenge because I totally forgot that I needed to have some underwater deaths at dive spots. Katerina died from running out of oxygen, but hey, at least she died in a pretty spot. All my other Sims had to die in a box with unfinished walls. Jack Lim got his limbs torn off by a shark. Ha 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 ha. Please tell me you're laughing. He kept on getting attacked but would not die, so I read that if you fill their inventory with like 200 pieces of raw meat and wait until they're almost out of oxygen, it'll kill them every time. And yep, worked right away. 10 out of 10 recommend. Aaliyah Ziegfeld died of dehydration, basically where a mermaid gets too dehydrated from not being in the water and they die. Nepunus Comathash, our alien, died from a jetpack crash. As soon as I got an alien in my household, I wanted him to have an Into the Future death because the expansion pack reminds me a lot of aliens. Morgan Yates died from a time anomaly. This was the one death in this whole challenge that I knew absolutely nothing about. I had to look this one up because I didn't even know it was something that could happen, to be honest. To sum it up, basically Morgan just traveled through a portal until he got sick and disappeared off the face of Simland. Here's my graveyard hidden in the trees of my backyard. It has all 21 Sims in it. I even have Cedric's golden statue in here. It took me a little over 11 sim weeks to finish this, which is a lot longer than I thought it would take, and it translated to I don't even know how many real world days because I kept raging and quitting the game. But in all the free time my girl Alora had while her friends were dying, she was able to learn and make ambrosia. She's totally carefree knowing she's safe from me. But that was pretty much the end of the video, guys. If you wanted to stick around until the very end, I'm just going to put a showcase in of all the ghosts. But if you want to leave, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!